Isaac is one of those young people. He's an engineer and a Jew who now lives in Miami. He asked that we only use his first name because he's worried about those he left behind, even though he feels safer in the U.S.
Of course, it's a struggle. It hasn't been easy. It's never easy when you move and when you change. But I'm not worried about my life. And if you're worried about your life, then what's the rest? You first have to secure your being, secure where you are. And Venezuela doesn't provide you that.
35 years ago, Isaac's parents fled the Soviet Union and settled in Venezuela, where they raised a family. But 5 years ago, they believed the government was starting to mirror the dictatorship that they lived through in the USSR and encouraged Isaac to move to the U.S. 2 years later, they followed him.
Isaac, when you mentioned that personal security is one of the biggest challenges you faced when you lived there, did you feel that your religious faith as a Jewish person made you even more of a target?
Yes, because it's been very clear since the beginning that the president of the country was aligning himself with countries and people that don't like our religion. They hate the capability that the Jewish community has, their power.
In fact, most of the people in Caracas's Jewish community that I met were educated, affluent, and at the top of their professions.
The threat is that they see that we're strong people that, make things happen. So he doesn't want people that can make things happen there. He wants people that are gonna obey to whatever he says, that are gonna, not create any problem.
Enrollment at the Hebraica school has dropped by about 45%. And the leaders we have spoken to there say that people are leaving the community, they're leaving Caracas, they're leaving Venezuela for many reasons, some economic, some political, some because they do feel there is anti-Semitism coming from the highest levels of the government here, and they no longer feel safe.
I will tell you again that I don't like to answer to speculations. In that case, there can be an opinion that someone can have who doesn't have proof. I would need to have first the name, the last name, who is saying it, and have proof of what is being said. In truth, what I have to do to respond to such a question is to deny categorically that in our country there may be any anti-Semitic activity. There isn't. There has never been, and there will never be, because Venezuelans don't suffer from that.
Isaac, I spoke with a government official who says the notion that there is government-sponsored anti-Semitism is, to use one of his words, ridiculous.
It's easy for them to lie. It's easy for them to say that that's not happening, but it's obvious that it's happening. Why would they give an explanation? They don't need to give an explanation to anybody. The simplest explanation is to say, no, that's not going to happen. So you tell them that, yeah, it's happening, and then he's going to deny. Then what are you going to do? What anybody's going to do about it? They can lie to your face, and there's nothing you can do.
It's almost like going back in time to the time of Hitler and the time of Stalin, when the personality cult was central to the government. I mean, there was only one person, only one leader, and only one reference. I mean, nobody else was allowed.
Sammy, are you comparing Chavez to Hitler?
Well, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. I cannot compare, of course, the Holocaust to what's happening in Venezuela. I mean, that would be a travesty, if I was to do that. But in the makeup of the person, sure.
Sammy, if you are comparing Chavez to Hitler, what does that say to you? What does that tell you about your future as a Jew here in Venezuela? What does that say to you?
Well, what it says to me is that a future doesn't really exist.
And if the current trend continues, it may not exist at Hebraica. The social club here helps pay the way for 400 families who can't afford membership. But as Jews continue to flee the country, that financial aid is drying up.
What's the impact on the Jewish community because people are leaving?
Well, all that social life, it's vanishing because as fewer people are left, there is fewer people that are going to be able to support the club, the Hebraica, as we remember it.
Do you believe for the situation to change in Venezuela, do you think Chavez is going to need to be removed from power?
Yes, he's not going to change. That's the way he is. He will change. He will change to be more extreme, but he's not going to change to be friendlier, to put it in that word.
Still, for members of the older generation, Venezuela is their home, and in their hearts, always will be.
On the one hand, I think I should leave. On the other hand, I can't do it, really. I love the Jewish community. I love Venezuela. I love the Venezuelan people. I love the Venezuelan climate. I love almost everything about Venezuela.
For me, it's very, very difficult to even think that I have to leave. Maybe in 6 months I will think differently. I don't know. For the time being, well, when I can have my voice heard, good. Good.
Do you feel welcome here?
No. Not by the government. By the people, yes. I love Venezuela. I love the people of Venezuela. I mean, I'm not leaving. They have to kick me out.